But this is Albert Cullen for those who are not familiar. He is a vampire, and of course, you say vampires not superheroes. But for many ladies, especially teenage girls, this is their superhero of the day. Of course, those of you who are in Team Edward will differ, of course. All right. A lot of us are fascinated by superheroes because they have audacious superhuman powers. I think we are quite fascinated by those people superheroes who can shoot spider webs from the wrist, who can fly, who can knock down walls and disappear and appear at different places. Right? It's fascinating. I think for me, when I thought about this topic, I think superheroes, we are fascinated by them because they seem to be able to transcend the human physical limitations. I think a lot of the scientists always tell us, human beings as a species, they are probably the weakest in the animal kingdom. If not for our brains and for our hands, and possibly our opposable thumbs, we will probably be an extinct species. Because we cannot outrun the lion, we cannot outfight the bear, we cannot swim away from the shark. So we are very weak as a species in the animal kingdom. And so when we see superheroes who can do a lot of things, wow, fantastic. The other issue about superheroes is that they are able to overcome the physical environment. Imagine you can fly like a bird. Imagine you can swim in the ocean without taking a breath of air. And I think as cavemen, because the major issue for cavemen even since then to now is to be able to survive the physical natural environment. So superheroes seem to be able to conquer all these things, and that's why they're very fascinated. So the topic today is superhero powers that I want, because we see superheroes that can fly, superheroes that can have shiny claws coming from their hands and scratching people and fighting away like that, or superheroes who are able to mind bend or mind control their enemies. So I'll ask you today, what kind of superhero powers do you think you would like to have? Any takers?
X-ray vision.
X-ray vision. Oh, not too bad.
Can become a good doctor.
Doctor love.
Especially when you look at responsibility, you will see something.
Yeah. So we all sometimes fantasize they like to have some superhuman powers. For me, I like perhaps maybe to have some mind-reading powers, because I'll use it first of all to my boss. Be nice to Foong. Give him a good KPI this year. or sometimes I wish I had powers to fly, because every day I go back from another Salcom to home, there's a traffic jam. Again, another hour wasted. If I can just fly through traffic, it would be fantastic. And I was thinking about what kind of superhero powers which are actually good. And I felt that this one person, Professor Charles Xavier, because some of you may know him, he's actually Professor X from the X-Men, right? So a very cool guy. He has the most powerful mind-bending, mind-telepathic powers ever. He can read a mind and he can put thoughts in your head. Oh, very good. He's also bald. Because his mind is too big, too powerful. But I didn't want to be like him because of his mind-reading abilities. I wanted to be like him because, as you know in the story of X-Men, he set up a school called the Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Mm-hmm. And it's a school where he brings in all these young superheroes, or rather youngsters who have just discovered their superpowers. And they are probably lost, they don't know what to do with them. They're probably trying to fit in to their own society and not damaging in return. So of course he brings up these people and he brings them to the school and he trains them to control their powers and use the powers for good and not for evil. So for me that is the superpower which I like. And then I can relate to that because, of course I'm not a superhuman, but I think I spent a large part of my most productive young adult years, it was a long time ago, on trying to help young people like that too as well. I used to teach in a Sunday school, because there's a church, and I teach children who are in the pre-teens. And of course, beside the normal Holy Scripture teaching, we teach them to actually be independent, to be responsible young people, and of course, more importantly, to be able to make a difference when they grow up to be an adult. So I believe that is the greatest superpower of all, because if you're able to change lives, touch hearts, I think that is superhuman enough. With that, thank you very much.